Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello and welcome. This is Nick from Top Sports. Today we're going to go over the 2022 New York Jets salary review, off-season moves for 2022. The New York Jets 4-13 last season under head coach Robert Saleh. They bring in Zach Wilson, who I believe is the best quarterback out of last year's draft. I know it was a shaky start. I feel like he's the most talented, has a crazy arm, throws with anticipation, mobility. He has everything you can possibly need in a franchise quarterback, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Overall, look, the Jets team is getting there on paper. It's not there just yet. I like what Joe Douglas is doing, and we're going to hop into this mock offseason, this mock free agency, mock draft, everything in this video. Look at your salary and see what we think that you guys should do and what we expect you guys to do in the 2022-2023 offseason. So let's hop right into it. Here you are right here. Here's the first slide. You see in the top left-hand corner, you have $44.7 million in cap space. Now, this slide here shows everybody that is currently under contract. The numbers in green means that if you cut a player, you would save money. The numbers in red means if you cut a player, you would lose money. Real fast, a good example. Sheldon Rankins right here. If you were to cut Sheldon Rankins right now, you would save $5.5 million. If for some strange reason you were to cut Corey Davis or trade him, you will lose $700,000. Now, look, you look at this team right here. There's a few guys that really pop out to me. The first guy is Sheldon Rankins, who's bringing in $5.5 million. The question is he worth $5.5 million? Another one is Connor McGovern, $9 million. I know Connor McGovern played well, but I don't think he's personally worth $9 million. But again, that's someone that I probably believe would stay. Greg Van Roten played pretty good for $3.5 million, so he would most likely stay. And George Fant really found his grounding this year as a left tackle. So to have him here in this right tackle position as a starter at $10.1 million, he says he's found it. It's a really interesting thing to think about. Is he worth $10.1 million? And I want you guys to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I'll hop into what my personal thoughts and what I think is going to happen in a few slides from now. But now real fast, let's go to the notable losses. The guys that are currently not under contract that are due to be free agents this year. Here we are. Here's the notable losses. First things first, this slide is not made possible without our one and only Noah the Huberman Thompson. Again, without you, Hube, we would not be able to have these expected contracts and the percent of snaps played. So let's hop right into this. The first guy, free safety Marcus May, his expected contract is a 1-year, $6 million deal, and he played 30.5% of the snaps this year. The next guy is right tackle Morgan Moses. His expected contract is 3 years, $22.5 million, and he played 91.7% of the snaps played. The next guy is defensive tackle for Alonzo Fatukasi. He played his expected contract is 3 years, $25 million, and his percent of snaps played is 47.1%. The next guy is wide receiver Jamison Crowder. His expected contract is a 1-year, $4.5 million contract, and he played 48.4% of the snaps played. The next guy is wide receiver Keelan Cole. His expected contract is a 2-year, $12.5 million deal, and he played 50.1% of the snaps played. Last but not least is wide receiver Braxton Berrios. His expected contract is a 3-year, $20.1 million deal, and he played 35.1% of the snaps played. Now, let me put this underway like this. Typically, a good rule of thumb, guys that play a high percent of the snaps are typically the guys that get brought back, especially if they play well under the percent of snaps they played. My personal opinion, Morgan Moses wants a lot of money, especially if you got someone like George Fant and Mekhi Becton. Now, the question is, I've been hearing a lot of rumors with the Jets, and you guys got to let me know what you guys think. I've been hearing reports that George Fant could steal Mekhi Becton's job, and that is kind of crazy to me. George Fant played really good at left tackle, but I feel like you got a superstar left tackle in Mekhi Becton. Now, the injury concerns are interesting. Mekhi Becton did go down with an injury. So you got to honestly kind of consider something, at least having a backup plan. So right now you have George Fant under contract. We don't predict restructures. We don't feel like you're going to move George Fant. There's a little sneak peek into the next slide. Morgan Moses, on the other hand, I still don't feel like you're going to bring in another tackle. Okay, if you want another tackle, maybe you get one in the draft this year. You're most likely probably going to. Okay, with all that being stated, Marcus May, he didn't really play a lot for you guys last year. Morgan Moses did. For Alonzo Fatukasi did. Jamison Crowder played a decent amount last year, but I think it might be finally time you guys move on from him. Keelan Cole played really good with the snaps that he played this year. I watched a lot of the Jets games this year. I'm not a Jets fan, but I watched you guys a lot because I really like Zach Wilson. And Braxton Berrios played a phenomenal, in my opinion, this year, especially as a kick returner and as a wide receiver. So we'll see what happens there. The next slide will show you your potential targets. Here are your potential targets. All right. So you got $44.7 million in estimated cap space available. Real fast, right? We got you guys not cutting nobody. Now let's go back up to the first slide again. I am sure there's going to be some restructures here, probably with George Fant, maybe Connor McGovern, maybe not. You cut Sheldon Rankins, but in my opinion, you got more than enough room here. All right. $44.7 million is more than enough room to make some moves for guys that you can possibly bring in. So let's see what we got you guys doing. First things first, we got you guys re-signing Braxton Berrios to a 3-year, $20.1 million deal, which comes out to being a $6.7 million cap hit. Next, we got you guys signing wide receiver Russell Gage. 4 years, $30 million, $7.5 million cap hit. The next signing is Carlton Davis. Wow, isn't this a big one? 5 years, $90 million contract for an $18 million cap hit. The next guy is Jordan Whitehead for 3 years, $18 million deal. This is a $6 million cap hit. Last but not least, Jayon Brown for a 2-year, $9.4 million contract, which puts you at a $4.7 million cap hit. Total cost would be $42.9 million, which leaves you with $1.8 million in remaining cap space available. Here's your team needs. You need a wide receiver, a tight end, an interior offensive lineman, offensive tackle, a defensive tackle, a linebacker, a cornerback, and a safety. Here's what we got you guys doing. First things first, we got you guys re-signing wide receiver Braxton Berrios. Okay. And with that being stated, we also got you guys signing wide receiver Russell Gage. We got you guys signing linebacker Jayon Brown, signing cornerback Carlton Davis, and signing safety Jordan Whitehead. 2 guys from the Buccaneers, familiar with each other, know how to play a similar defense to each other, has chemistry. Would be really nice if you could bring in both of them. On top of that, in the first round, we got you guys drafting left tackle, to also play right tackle, play a little bit of both in college, Evan Neal. We got Evan Neal falling to the 4th pick. Evan Neal is a hell of a prospect, really big, 6'7", 350, but I don't feel like he's the most polished. I feel like Ike Ekwonu was the most polished. We got Evan Neal falling to you guys in the first round. Also in the first round, we got you guys bringing in Sauce Gardner, Ahmed Gardner. Really good value pick here to bring him in, fill in the cornerback need as well. In the second round, we got you guys bringing in Perion Winfrey, the defensive tackle. And also in the second round, we got you guys bringing in tight end Trey McBride to help Zach Wilson out in the tight end position to add another receiver. In the third round pick, we got you guys bringing in Brandon Smith. Okay, Brandon Smith is a linebacker to help that linebacker need. And in the 4th round, we're not predicting your 4th round. Here's what we got. Interior offensive lineman, we got you guys drafting. You still need to address that need, maybe just for depth purposes in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round. But overall, here's what we got. We got you guys filling in every need you really need. Now let's look at the 2022-2023 expected depth chart. Here you go. You got $1.8 million left in a cap space here. And let's look at the team real fast. Real fast, usually in yellow, we would have our fill-ins, okay, who are still, need to be filled in. Unfortunately for you guys, we don't have any placeholders for the Jets team. If this is your roster, it's a really solid team on paper. Okay, the guys in green are guys that you're signing in free agency. Guys in orange, which you don't see here, would be re-signings. Okay, one of the re-signings we have is Braxton Berrios, who's going to be a role player, right? Come in a little bit, play, but he's not listed here. He's not one of the starters in our opinion. But real fast, they're bringing a signing. So we got you guys signing Carlton Davis as a corner, signing a Jordan Whitehead, signing a Jayon Brown, and signing Russell Gage and being instant starters on your team. In the light blue, these are your draft picks. Okay, so we got right tackle Evan Neal. We got defensive tackle Perion Winfrey, tight end Trey McBride, 1st round cornerback Ahmad Sauce Gardner, and linebacker Brandon Smith to fill in those needs for you guys. With that being stated, you say, well, George Fant's here for 10.1. Can't we save that money if you're going to bring in Evan Neal anyway? Absolutely. But if Mekhi Becton continues to struggle or gets hurt, you would love to have a backup plan. And considering that George Fant's a better left tackle than right tackle, but can also play a little bit of swing tackle, left and right, it would be great for you guys to hold on to him for depth purposes. With that being stated, is he worth 10.1? No. I do feel like there'll probably be some kind of restructure if you hold on to him. With that being stated, this team, they went 4-13 last year. If they make the moves that I have them making, I feel like this team can win anywhere from 7 to 8 games this year. Really. You look at the roster. Quarterback Zach Wilson, I have high praise on Zach Wilson. Running back Michael Carter. He played really good last year. I was not so high on him coming out of the draft. When I found out he went to the Jets, I love the pick. Then you got Corey Davis and Elijah Moore. And you say, why the hell did you bring in Russell Gage and not somebody better? To me, Corey Davis is a number one. And Elijah Moore is a hell of a slot receiver, and he played great last year. You don't need another big-name guy that you spend $10 to $12 million on. You just need a guy that's going to come in here and play a decent role. Russell Gage is probably that guy. You look at the offensive line. Let me tell you something. I'm actually excited about this offensive line. Young guy in Mekhi Becton at left tackle. Young guy Elijah Vera Tucker at left guard. Connor McGovern at center. Greg Van Roten at right guard. And Evan Neal at right tackle. That's a way to revamp the offensive line and something that Joe Douglas promised to do. You look at the defense. Carl Lawson at edge. Perrion Winfrey at defensive tackle alongside with Quinnen Williams. And John Franklin Myers, who played really great for you guys this year. At cornerback, you got Ahmed Sauce Gardner at cornerback here. You got Carlton Davis, who's a great cornerback over here. You got Bryce Hall right here with another guy that played really good for you guys. Last but not least, you got Jayon Brown, CJ Mosley, and Brandon Smith at linebacker. That's a pretty good linebacking core. You got Jordan Whitehead and Ashton Davis playing safety. Two young guys that can hopefully hold down the secondary. Ladies and gentlemen, I really think this team can be pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys were to make these moves, let me know what you guys think. And what do you think you would do that we did not do in this video? Let me know that as well. Let me know also what you think about Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh. Do you think they're going to be the future? And do you think it's going to work out? I do personally. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you know. Stay tuned. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll let you know what's going on soon on our Instagram. So be sure to follow us on Top Notch Sports on Instagram. See you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Better.